Security challenges in the supply chain. Topic of my conversation today with Jeff Munsell. He is Director of North American Sales for Supply Chain with Vector Security Networks. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me. What do you see as the biggest challenge in supply chain right now from a security perspective?
I think the biggest challenge we're seeing is a lack of understanding or appreciation for the nuance and challenges within the warehouse, the distribution center, the fulfillment center space. I think in a lot of scenarios, there's unique challenges that are not being met, and there's a lack of interest from the security integrator perspective in terms of innovation, meeting the challenges and finding specific solutions to some of the challenges that exist in this unique space.
I have to say I'm a bit shocked to hear you use those words, lack of interest, given the fact that there's so much attention being paid to cyber attacks, to security breaches, to all that. So I thought that stuff was top of mind for everybody. You're telling me that it hasn't filtered down to warehouses, or what's the deal?
So I'm talking more as it relates to the physical security in terms of specific
access to the facility and in and out and stuff like that?
Correct. Some of the cyber threats, obviously with what's gone on and some of the things that have happened, huge top of mind, big challenge. But I'm talking more from a physical security, perspective, addressing some of those challenges, because the environments you have in these warehouses are very, very different than what you see in a typical retail application, in a mall setting. And so those challenges require specific hardware, specific innovation, specific solutions that are unique specifically to these environments and these scenarios that you don't find in other buildings or other spaces.
I see. But even so, some more awareness is needed in that area.
Absolutely.
Even though you would think warehouses are well protected, you would think that access to inside and out is well controlled.
Right.
But more work to be done. How interesting.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned this idea of a security integrator. Would you explain exactly what that is?
Yeah, so a physical security integrator is a company that procures, whether it be camera equipment, intrusion equipment, meaning the burglary system that most people think of, access control, meaning card readers, and even beyond the walls of the facility in terms of the gates, whether those are manned gates, unmanned gates, access to the facilities from the perimeter in. And that physical security not only has to be procured and installed, but you want to have an environment where you can, if possible, you can have a single pane of glass where you can view, and there's communication between all of those systems to provide a seamless security experience.
I see.
And by having a integrator that understands and appreciates how these systems interact with one another, how they speak to one another, and then what that user experience looks like on the back end from a user experience perspective, really create and build a solution that meets the needs of the customer. And rather than taking out of the box solutions and trying to pound that square peg into a round hole, that consultative approach to understanding how your business operates. What are your unique challenges? How is your warehouse or your fulfillment center or your distribution different than the next guy down the road? And those are what formulate sort of the solution mindset that we put together. We work with design teams to figure out what that looks like to address your business needs.
I would imagine it is a challenge getting all these different systems from different manufacturers to talk to one another. Does that in fact happen with effort? Are there challenges where it's the kludge of systems that you really can't manage as one?
Certainly, and I think there's a movement within the industry and within the space to understand that is a big desire and a big benefit to end users to have that single pane of glass experience. And so bringing partners and bringing vendors to the table and finding new vendors and finding new partners who are innovative, who are bringing new solutions so that we can bring something different and something new and something unique to an end user experience that maybe they haven't experienced or didn't know was possible before.
All the talk these days in systems is all about AI. Artificial intelligence seems to be the solution for everything, but I imagine that it does have value in this area, in terms of facility security. What role is AI playing now, and what role might it be playing in the future?
Yeah, AI is the buzzword, is the hot topic. There's as you think about what AI is and what it means, everyone seems to have a different opinion on what exactly the definition of AI is and what it looks like and what it feels like. As we evaluate what it means in security, it can speak to analytics, what you're getting from, that view that you get in the camera. What is that camera view providing to you? What data can you pull from that? How can that formulate and drive business decisions and methodologies and efficiencies in operations and effectiveness in what you're doing? Again, not only from the facility, but as we expand out to the perimeter, to the gate automation. You look at some of the biggest cost numbers, the things that hit the P&L that affect, profitability most in a lot of these facilities is the amount of money spent on whether it be man guarding or physical security at the exterior of the facility. So at a particular facility, if you have 1 or 2 gatehouses that have to be staffed by 2 to 4 security guards on 3 shifts, it's a very expensive, man guarding is a very expensive security solution. And in my humble opinion, not as effective as some other applications.
I mean, you can actually get by with fewer people with a system that
and so by
be just as secure, if not more secure.
Absolutely. And so by using AI, it is part of automating a gate facility to where now you can have unmanned gates, where you can have the ability to either reallocate those resources to other parts of the business to increase efficiency, or remove those if they're third parties or they're cost items that you'd like to remove from the budget. By automating the gate, you're now providing an experience where you're saving money, you're getting accurate data, which is going to help you formulate better business decisions moving forward. And then you're talking about expediting and efficiency where, instead of having 30 trucks lined up outside your facility, is that entry process takes 10 to 15 minutes. You're now getting trucks through in a matter of seconds. And so you're able to turn trucks, your turnover, your loads, you can do more loads per day, more trucks per day. So the advent and use of AI in the gate automation process is absolutely huge.
Yeah, so not just what's happening from moment to moment in terms of security, but being able to take that data, interpret it, analyze it, and use it for future security efforts that can be even more effective than what you had before.
And in the tentacles of the benefits expand even outside of security. I mean, you're talking about operationally by having a secure facility where you're now gathering more data, better data, accurate data at a lower cost. That allows you to make decisions, whether it be in operations, in fulfillment, whatever that looks like. All those efficiencies kind of spread or are sprinkled throughout the entire organization.
Jeff, thank you very much for helping to understand how we can beef up security in the warehouse with the use of a security integrator and technology, how that can help going forward. I appreciate your insights. I do want to ask you very briefly about Vector Security Networks. Could you just explain very briefly who you guys are and what you do?
Absolutely. So Vector Security Networks is a national account arm of Vector Security. We are the 4th largest integrator in the country. And what makes us unique or special is we are the only large integrator in the country that has a team dedicated specifically to the supply chain vertical. I have a team of account managers that work alongside me that are subject matter experts as it relates to the nuances and needs, as we talked about earlier, of this space, of these facilities, what that looks like, and really understanding those challenges and bringing new solutions to the table. And what makes Vector special is we are constantly at places like this, at places where we can find and drive new innovation and bring new innovation to our customers, provide additional value beyond just the camera and intrusion and access control that we talked about earlier.
Jeff, again, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you sitting down with me today.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I've been speaking with Jeff Munsell of Vector Security Networks. Thank you very much for watching.